For 4,500 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. A mountain of stone that seems to defy logic, physics, and time itself. This is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now, we know who it was built for, Pharaoh Khufu. And we know when it was built, around 2560 BC. But there's one question that still keeps archaeologists, engineers, and even me awake at night. How did a civilization without wheels, without iron tools, and without modern cranes move to 0.3 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, and stack them with laser-like precision? Did they use massive ramps, some kind of lost technology, or, as some theorists suggest, was it something not from this world? Welcome back to Discover Egypt. Today, we're digging into the engineering, the mystery, and the wildest theories behind how the Great Pyramid was built. First, let's just talk about the numbers. Because honestly, they're terrifying. Historians tell us the pyramid took about 20 years to build. It contains roughly 2.3 million stone blocks, if you do the math, and assume they work 12 hours a day, 365 days a year. That means they had to quarry, transport, shape, and place one massive stone block every 2.5 minutes, every single minute, for 20 years straight. And we're not just talking about the limestone found nearby. The massive granite beams inside the king's chamber weigh up to 80 tons each. That's the weight of 12 African elephants. And these stones came from Aswan, over 800 kilometers away. How did they move 80 tons down the Nile River without sinking the boats? And once they got to the Giza Plateau, how did they lift them 140 meters into the sky? The most widely accepted explanation is the ramp theory. The idea is simple enough: you build a long slope and just drag the stones up. But here's the problem. For a ramp to reach the top of the pyramid with a slope gentle enough to drag stones, it would need to be about 1.6 kilometers long. The ramp itself would have required almost as much stone and effort as the pyramid. So, engineers proposed the spiral ramp theory. This imagines a ramp that wraps around the pyramid like a corkscrew as it's being built. It makes a lot of sense, but there's a big catch: the corners. How do you turn a 5-ton block around a sharp 90-degree corner on a steep slope without it sliding back down and crushing everyone below? It's a huge logistical puzzle. More recently, French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin proposed a brilliant theory: the internal ramp. He believes the Egyptians built a secret tunnel inside the pyramid walls to carry blocks to the top. And to get this, thermal scans of the pyramid have actually shown strange, spiral-shaped anomalies inside the structure. So, he might just be right. But what about moving the stones across the desert floor to begin with? For years, we imagined it required thousands of slaves pulling with all their might. But physics suggests they probably worked smarter, not harder. Take a look at this ancient wall painting from the tomb of Jehudatep. It shows a huge statue being pulled on a sledge. But look closely at the person standing at the very front. What is he doing? He's pouring water onto the sand. Scientists from the University of Amsterdam actually tested this. They found that adding just the right amount of water stiffens the sand, cutting the friction by 50%. This one simple trick meant they needed half the manpower. It wasn't magic, it was fluid mechanics. Now, let's get to one of the most controversial yet scientifically fascinating theories. What if they didn't cut the stones at all? What if they poured them? This is the geopolymer theory, proposed by chemist Joseph Davidovits. He suggests that the blocks of the Great Pyramid are actually a form of ancient limestone concrete. Think about it. It would explain why the blocks fit together so perfectly that you can't even slide a credit card between them. It would also explain why the blocks at the top are just as dense and heavy as the ones at the bottom. Instead of hauling 2-ton stones up a massive ramp, workers would just carry baskets of a wet limestone mixture up, pour it into wooden molds, and let it harden in the sun. While most Egyptologists reject this idea, microscopic analysis has shown that some of the stones contain air bubbles and organic fibers, things you don't typically find in natural, solid rock. The debate is still raging. And finally, we have the theories that border on science fiction. Some researchers point to the incredibly precise saw cuts and drill holes found in granite artifacts around Giza. These cuts are so perfect that some engineers claim they rival what we can do today with diamond-tipped power tools. Could the ancient Egyptians have possessed a lost technology? There's even a theory about acoustic levitation. The idea that they understood sound frequencies and vibrations in a way we've forgotten, allowing them to manipulate the weight of the stone. The Great Pyramid is, in many ways, a massive geometric machine. Even today, if you hum a low note inside the king's chamber, the acoustics amplify the sound in a way that feels spiritual, almost electric. Was the pyramid built with sound technology, or was it built to generate energy? That's a mystery for another video. So, was it aliens, lost tech, concrete, or just sheer blood, sweat, and genius engineering? The truth is, we may never know for sure, but perhaps the most impressive thing isn't how they built it, but that they did. The Great Pyramid is a testament to what humans can achieve when they are united by a single, seemingly impossible goal. It has watched empires rise and fall, and it's still standing, guarding its secrets. What do you think? Was it ramps, concrete, or something else entirely? Let me know your favorite theory in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like and subscribe to discover Egypt. We have so many more secrets to uncover. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.